All right, so thank you, Kyle and Robin and everyone for attending. Just gonna start to play this short video, just kind of showing some of the heat tracking series body temperature solution products that we have.
Normal body temperature, please pass. Please wear a mask. Abnormal body temperature.
So that's just a short intro video showing some of the different products that we're going to be carrying. I'm going to just show them here. So this is our handheld unit. This one, obviously, you need an operator to use it, but it's can tell the human body temperature of people without any contact. These are all the spec sheets which provide all the information. And this one typically runs on an SD card. You can, push the images from the SD card to to a laptop for PC software analysis and stuff like that. Then we have this one here that was just showing in the video. This is a human body temperature measurement and metal detecting security gate. So it's a 2-in-1 functionality. It doubles as a metal detector and a temperature detector. Has the temperature display on the top. This one you would more likely find in airports or entry points to stadiums, stuff like that. And this is our most expensive unit. This one, it's included. The camera is included, the thermal camera, the tripod, the black body, which can cover the camera, and the PC client software. Now, this system is designed to detect many people at the same time. It's very fast, so you can imagine a whole bunch of people rushing into a casino or something like that. It can detect many people's temperature very rapidly and at the same time. And if somebody has an abnormally high temperature, it can generate an alarm. And this unit here is a facial recognition access control terminal with digital temperature measurement module on top. So this one here can double as an access control system, and it can provide alarm if somebody has a abnormally high temperature or they're not wearing a mask, stuff like that. The company can set it up so it can create different alarms. This one would be typically installed, in schools, office buildings, hospitals, or other important areas, employee important areas. And this is the pedestal for that unit, so you can have it at an entry point. The unit can also be wall mounted. That unit I was just showing also has alarm input and outputs for releasing a door strike or a mag lock on a door. So you can use it as a access control type system. I will show these ones here. I'm going to go through very quickly because I don't want to bore anyone here. But you can see this unit is on a pedestal on the right here. And that's, your typical type of setup, how it would be there. And this is the accessory guide, so you can get the pedestal, you can have the temperature sensor on top, the yellow part there. So this will also has facial recognition. So it's 99% if people are not wearing a mask, about 90% if people are wearing a mask. The face recognition speed is 0.2 seconds, and high picture capacity up to 10,000 face capacity. The temperature measurement range 30 to 45 degrees Celsius. So here you can see the temperature on the left. The lady, her temperature is 36.8. She's wearing a mask. So underneath that it just says normal temperature, please pass. The right picture is showing a temperature of 37.3. It's showing abnormal temperature, so it could create an alarm condition to alert somebody who's controlling an entry point or something like that. It also has a voice alarm for those who are not wearing a mask, so you can make it say, please wear a mask. So you can see the voice controls here on the right. So the unit can say welcome as you're walking up to it, please wear a mask, abnormal temperature, and that's if facial recognition is not enabled or it is enabled. So this unit can be very quick deployment, with a pedestal. You just install it on a pedestal. And plus the PC tool, which can be installed on a computer. You can see a snapshot of the people import tool on the right here. So you can, collect photos, do a personnel search, pass through records. You can query all that information. Originally, they want to make this work with the Unicorn or the VMS system over a network. It says here they wanted it to be ready at the end of March, but it's not quite there yet because of the demand of these products. They kind of pushed them out a little bit beforehand, before they were completely ready, but they are telling us that eventually it will be integrated with the VMS solutions. So this is kind of how they plan to have it looking with a VMS solution or the Unicorn. You can have the temperature of each person, so it shows the captured photo, compared to the registered photo on the right, and it shows the temperature and takes a captured photo of when they come up, so you can have a query of all the information. VMS solution, so time attendance supported. So once it's all ready to go, it will show, the door that they came in, the time they came in, the time they came out. So it can double as a time and attendance device. And then they're talking about API for third-party software integration. Typical application scenarios. So this can be installed at a school, enterprise, community facility, and construction sites, stuff like that, supermarkets, and all that. And then it talks about why wrist, not forehead. They say it's more accurate. And they're just talking about different Q&As here. So we'll skip through that and then I'll show the other PowerPoint here. And again, I'm going to go through this pretty quickly here. Let me just reverse this so you can get a full screen here. Of course, it doesn't want to show on that screen. Okay, let's share my other screen then. 1 second. That should be better. All right, so I'm gonna again skip through this pretty quickly. So it just talks about the background, the current situation we're facing with the coronavirus. Key symptoms: people have high temperatures or cold symptoms, and the main purpose of taking body temperature is to effectively screen people with fever or high temperatures, make sure the area is free of infection. The typical challenge with traditional solutions, or mercury thermometers, electric thermometers, in-ear thermometers, all those devices, you need to have actual physical contact with the person, and a lot of people do not want to have physical contact with other people during these times. The infrared thermometer, you have to be very close. With these camera solutions, you can be at a distance and you can see these units. The thermographic fever screening system can detect many, many people at once. The temperature measurement face recognition terminal can detect people, point of entries at a business or any other type of point of entry. The human body temperature measurement system gate is more used for security purposes because it acts as a metal detector as well. So this can be used at schools, colleges, campuses, airports, train stations, all kinds of different things. So it talks about the technology of temperature measurement. We won't go into all this, but it's just talking about typical products and then how that versus with thermal imaging. This system here, again, it comes with the tripod, camera, black body, PC client software. So that's why this one is quite a bit more money, and it's designed to detect a lot of targets all at the same time, so high traffic areas. And you can see the setup in the small picture that the gentleman has set up on the right side there. Entry point, people walking through, and it can be very quick deployment as well. Probably just takes a few minutes to set it up. It talks about the interworkings of the camera, kind of the different parts and stuff like that. And it talks about here how they used better components for the cameras to increase the response time from 10 to 15 milliseconds down to 4 milliseconds. And here you can see this short clip. It was showing it in the first video there. So the top clip is showing many people being detected by that system in a very fast time frame. It detects the temperature from people's faces. On the bottom clip there, the guy's holding a hot cup of water or coffee, and it's still taking the temperature from his face as opposed to detecting the temperature of what is in his hand. So here is another highlight function of the unit. This lady pulls off her mask. It can create an alarm for that.
Mike, I'm going to interrupt you here for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
As you started to talk about that second individual, your voice completely, sorry, as you were talking about the second individual, I don't know if everybody else had the same thing, but your voice, I lost you through most of it.
Okay, no problem. So this was the slide we were on here?
The one prior.
One prior, okay. This one here, okay. You can hear me now, okay, guys?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. If we run into that problem again, just interrupt and let me know. Everyone in the world is probably on the internet right now, so it's tough, the challenges. But the second picture, this I was talking about here, how it takes the temperature from the subject's face. The second picture, the gentleman is holding a hot cup of coffee or water, and the system is going to still detect the temperature from his face and not deviate from that and check the temperature of whatever's in his hand. And then this one here, you can have alarm face capture with real-time image storage for later tracking. Scenarios where this type of system could be used: high traffic areas like campuses, factories, shopping centers, airports, railways, seaports, all kinds of different applications. And then
Mike, hold on a second. So on that image there where you were referring to earlier, where they were kept, the previous one, right there,
yep.
That one there, no, you've gone too far.
This one here?
Yes.
Okay.
So on that one there, and if I missed it, I apologize, but where they actually, the alarm there is where they've actually taken the face mask off their face.
Yes, that's right. So
Okay.
it's you can set this up in many different ways, to create alarms for abnormally high temperatures, or if they're not wearing a mask, and during these times companies might implement a policy where they want employees to wear masks. So this unit can do it, and the other unit that can be mounted on a pedestal can also warn of not wearing a mask and stuff like that.
Thanks, Mike.
No problem. So then it just goes through some Q&A stuff and different products here. Here you can see the accessory guide, so the floor stand mount or pedestal mount. You can also mount that unit on the wall. It can also be turnstile mounted as well. Talks about the detection angle and stuff like that, where you want to have the unit mounted. The advantages of this unit is its small size with high reliability. It can support up to 20 to 30 people per minute. So if this is acting as a access control unit, that's where we get a lot of interest on this unit, is if people want to tie it in with their access control system. And typical application scenarios for this unit, would be schools, community, construction sites, and stuff like that. And some of this stuff is repetitive from the previous slideshow, so I'll just skip through it. The software. Here it talks about integration with a card or access control system. So this unit here does have alarm in and outputs. You can tie this in with your access control to a mag lock or electronic door strike. So you can use it for access control. And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Is there? I want to keep it a little bit more sped up than the last one. But do we have any questions at all?
Well, I do.
Yep.
One is on the handheld scanner.
Yes.
So when I go through the data sheet, it talks about a flash card and also an SD card. So does that come with two sets, or it's just the SD card?
I believe it just comes with the SD card. Let me just share. I forgot to show one video here, so let me just show that.
Okay.
So this is our handheld unit here. Thermal imager. It has a handy and portable design. From settings, it's very easy to set up the time, set high and low temperature for alerts, and also the auto save option to save the pictures of the people with high temperatures.
Very difficult to make out the audio, Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's coming through my microphone, that's why.
no, I know. I thought that's, you may be thinking we may be able to hear it, but very vaguely.
Okay. But the audio is just basically reading what's on the bottom there. So if everyone just follows along, that's basically all it's saying there. It's so efficient that it takes just seconds to detect the temperature. Even if the face is covered, it still works perfectly fine, avoiding false temperature alarms. Also, the person doesn't need to be standing close to the device to detect the temperature. That is pretty much it for the video. Sorry, going back to your question, Dele, you were asking if the unit, runs on an SD card. Was that your question?
Yes. When you go through, if you bring up the data sheet, there's a reference to a flash card and then a reference to an SD card.
Okay, one moment. Yeah, so it has photograph function and SD card storage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then so if you go down to all the way to the bottom where it has the general specifications, second to the last line, it says 16 gig TF card. What is that?
So that's a 16 gigabyte SD card. So that's it's just probably included in the unit. I'm not sure because I know we have. Sorry, go ahead. So I didn't open the box.
You were coming in choppy, so just.
Oh, I see. Yeah, this unit records to SD card, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen, so hopefully it can, the audio will level out. But I believe this unit comes with a micro SD card. I would confirm that if I was at the office, but I'm not 100% sure. But it says here standard standard accessories: manual, Type C USB cable, and 16 gigabyte SD card. I believe in China they may call it like a TF card, but um, so it would be included.
Ooh.
Is there any other questions on any of the products from anyone?